Good evening. Well, I just got done watching a video on the Pagan Perspective, which is a nice YouTube channel. And they had one guy, his name was Dancing Rabbit, if I remember right. And he had an interesting topic. And I never heard of this concept before. And it kind of blew my mind. I had to think about this for quite a while. And I realized that I've seen it. I have actually complained about this before. And so it's just like, is this what I dare call it? And the term that I'm referring to is Wiccan Privilege. Yeah, now that coming from me is kind of scary because I have been told by many people to tick in my white male privilege. So it's kind of a reversal here where you have Wicca as the dominant form of paganism, and they are kind of suffocating other pagan beliefs, other pagan paths. When I look at Facebook, I see a lot of groups that are labeled Wiccan, and that's fine. One of my biggest pet peeves actually backs up this idea of Wiccan privileged. And that is, there are a lot of groups, there are a lot of people that say, welcome all pagans and Wiccans, or all Wiccans and pagans. When I started my pagan path, I learned that all Wiccans are pagans, but not all pagans are Wiccans. Wicca is a denomination of paganism. Wow, simple, right? But why is it that Wiccans get such a higher status, get more acceptance than the rest of the pagan groups? Well, it's because there's so many of them. Let's face it, in the 80s, 90s, up to today, Wicca has been exploding at a faster rate than any of the other pagan beliefs. So yes, there's more of them. And so, majority rules. And so that means people that are not of a Wiccan belief system are of the minority, and they are struggling to get their representation shown. The video that I watched, the gentleman was talking about how at like pagan pride events, all the rituals that they do are generally following a Wiccan template. How it's quarter circles, the calling the corners and all that. But not all pagan beliefs are that way. That Reconstructionists don't follow the full moons. That certain pagan beliefs in the actual old ways have ideas that are contrary to Wicca. Because, as this man told about, the history of Wicca is way different than the ways of like Druidism. Wicca is neo-paganism. Wicca is a creation by Gerald Gardner, and where he took various aspects of different beliefs and magical practices and put them together and go, and this is Wicca. And that is the problem right there. His is a culmination of all these different belief systems put together, and it got the attention, it grew, because, as it was stated, the groups in England was a coven-based, and so, you got to know somebody to be brought into the coven and, be inducted into it. But it was Robert Bucklands who says, you don't need to be initiated to be a Wiccan, to be a pagan, to be a witch. You can do it yourself. You can do a self-initiation. And because of that, Wicca in the United States just expanded massively. But some of your older groups, such as the Druids and all that, they didn't grow at a faster pace, and so we are of the minority. And majority rules. So, do we tell the Wiccans to check in their privilege when they go to these pagan pride days? Or should we remind them it's pagan pride, not Wiccan pride? Something to consider, something to think about. Voice your opinions below. Take care. Be at peace.